All right, it's all that rain and snow. Rick's talking about stacking up in the mountains and across, well, pretty much everywhere across southern Idaho. Many mountain locations are above 100% of snow for this time of year. So with all of this snow in the mountains and, of course, water filling into the reservoirs, Sophia Bliss explains what the chances of flooding may look like in the spring.
It's been an incredibly busy March when it comes to snow, but it is spring now, and these inevitable runoff that comes along with the warming temperatures eventually. So with so much snow, is there a chance of flooding? Well, like with many situations, one way to try to figure out what's going to happen is by looking at similar past situations. So one of the ways we can analyze how much water we may see when the snow melts is to look at these SNOWTEL maps. SNOWTEL data goes back to 1981, so it's not a full look back in history, but it does offer some insight. The bottom here shows the months as we go throughout the year. The purple line shows the maximum amount of snow that we've ever seen at a specific site, and then the red shows the minimum amount of snow. The black line shows 2023 so far, and the green line shows the median amount. This graph in particular is for the Middle Snake Basin as a whole. And you can see that it includes western parts of Idaho and eastern parts of Oregon. So if we look at the basin and how we've accumulated that snow over time, you'll notice 2022 and 2023 kind of parallel each other from January to March. We saw more precipitation this year, but it was a similar trend for the first few months of the year. March is where the trend really starts to diverge. You can see the black line 2023 goes straight up, and then the purple line kind of goes straight and again parallel. And now this pattern is really similar to several SNOWTEL sites too, several different sites. That's the basin as a whole. If we look at one site in particular, this is Chocolate Gulch, which is the closest site to Sun Valley. And if we compare 2022 in pink with 2023 in the black, you can see there's rather dry conditions from January to March because that line is flat. And then March, again, is where we see that massive difference as we go into the year ahead. Runoff this year is not going to be similar to last year because we're seeing huge differences late in the season. After doing some comparisons across about 10 different sites, 2011 looks to be pretty similar to the trend that we're seeing. So let's look at 2011, that gold line there. You can see very similar to what we're seeing right now. So for some sites, 2017 matches up pretty well too. So let's look at that one. And you can see, again, kind of similar, but 2011 is a little bit closer of a match. And I talked to Mike Myers to understand what 2011 was like in terms of runoff. He's the water master for the Boise area.
So 2011, we started flood control operations March 21st. I don't believe it really warmed up until April, but they did start flood control early, knowing there was a lot of snow up in the mountains to come off, and then it did not end until July 14th. We're right in between 2017 and 2011 right now, as of today. In 2011, there was 2.4 million acre feet of runoff that year, and in 2017, there was 3 million acre feet of runoff. So we could see very similar numbers. The one thing that I've noticed this year is in the mountains, the ground was really dry before it snowed, and then it froze. So the soil moistures in the hills, it's pretty dry under that snowpack. So we'll lose a little bit of that, but I still think we're, if history tells us anything, we're about the 2 million acre feet runoff.
In 2011, parts of eastern Idaho were under state disaster declarations because of flooding. In May of that year, the Snake River was running high and threatened some neighborhoods near Hayburn. The Boise River was running high too.
I did talk to some Ada County folks today. There was some localized flooding along the Greenbelt that year. Nobody really remembers anything too extreme, but there was localized flooding that year.
In 2022, the Bureau of Reclamation says they went into flood control for one day. This year, the Bureau says they'll be entering flood operations starting Monday. They'll be releasing extra water for at least 5 days, with another possible increase on the 10th. While the colder temperatures are a lot less pleasant than our typical springtime temps, it will help the snow melt slowly and hopefully avoid significant flooding. For Idaho's News Channel 7, I'm Sophia Bliss.